Commonwealth of Massachusetts, law students can go right into court and defend their clients, take a case all the way, win or lose. Today's law student wants real action, and he's getting it. Not in the classroom or out of books, but in our courts, helping people who need legal services. These students are doing it at the neighborhood law office. They're lawyers. They're young lawyers.
So I can go back to school tomorrow, long hair and all.
Right.
Wow, how'd you do it?
I didn't do it, and the Supreme Court did.
Out of sight. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You didn't repossess that refrigerator. You climbed through the window and you stole it.
But she was behind on her payments.
I can talk to the lady and I can convince her not to press charges if she gets back the refrigerator. Well, why don't you think about it? Give me a call tomorrow.
Hey, you Silverman?
Yeah?
My brother's doing bad time. You get him out.
Just like that. Why me?
'Cause you're Silverman, and I want the best.
Well, you and I might know that, but I don't know if anybody else around here does.
I seen you in action. The time you stood up to those cops when they tried to bust Mooney Parker.
Well, the cops didn't have anything on Mooney Park.
They didn't have to have. Like they had nothing on Willis.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a form to fill out. You fill it out. When you get done, bring it back to me.
Forms ain't gonna get it, man.
Okay. Tell you what I'm gonna do. With you, I'm gonna make an exception. You tell me the information, and I'll write it down. What's your name?
Jesse Crawford.
Jesse Crawford. What's your brother's name?
Willis Crawford.
Offense. What did they say he did?
Murder.
And how come you think it's bad time?
Because his lawyer gave him the shaft is why.
Do you remember his lawyer's name?
Harris. Matthew Harris.
Matthew G. Harris. Now Judge Harris, that Matthew Harris.
Is he supposed to be God Almighty or something?
All right, let's just keep right on going. Murder. Your brother pleaded innocent, right? He pleaded guilty. Jesse, what you've told me is that your brother had a great lawyer and he pleaded guilty. Now, I'm going to get to the case when I have time, but I'm going to tell you, I don't think we have much of a chance.
You ain't listening to me. I said he didn't do it.
His lawyer was Matthew Harris.
Willis didn't do nothing.
But he said he was guilty.
Are you deaf as a bat? I said he didn't do it.
here.
Jesse Crawford.
Who's Jesse Crawford? Linebacker for the Boston Patriots?
Oh, he's some little kid who came in here a little while ago.
Seems as though I made an impression on the kid at one time.
He wanted Aaron to take his case.
What happened? You refused?
Yeah, I did, because the kid didn't have anything to go on.
I mean, he didn't think he had anything to go on.
The kid didn't have anything to go on. Jesse Crawford comes in here and he tells me that he feels his brother's unjustly convicted of second-degree murder, but in the same breath, he tells me that his brother pleaded guilty.
Well, people have been known to plead guilty when they're not. Cop a lesser plea, make a deal. Afraid somebody's going to hit him. The lawyer screws up.
This lawyer didn't screw up.
Well, you didn't read the transcript.
Mr. Barrett, do you know who his lawyer was? You tell me.
Matthew G. Harris.
You don't read the transcript because his lawyer is Harris. You got the Mendoza briefs?
Yeah, I think I do.
Dig them out. You're doing court in 20 minutes. You better hurry up. You got Judge Marley. That's an old goat. You don't keep waiting.
Hey.
About how Mr. Mendoza wants to live there free in your building for 6 months in spite of the rats.
Object. You have evidence of rats, Mr. Silverman? A live rat, perhaps, which you brought into my courtroom?
I have pictures of rats, Your Honor.
May we see them, please?
I submit these in evidence.
Overruled for now.
And Mr. Cashman, is it true that Mr. Mendoza wants to live there free for 6 months in spite of the fact that he doesn't have any hot water?
Same as the rats, Mr. Silverman. May we have the evidence, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anytime you're ready, Mr. Silverman. Very nice picture you painted me, Mr. Silverman. Artistic even. But how does the picture of a broken window imply the total absence of hot water? Have a little lunch, Mr. Silverman. You'll feel better, and I will too. And try to come back here at 2 o'clock in the position to give your very best to this case. I would appreciate it. And so will your client.
Hi, Aaron. Hey, how's it going?
Well, at the present time, it's not going very well. However, it's not over yet.
Aaron, you had this in your hip pocket.
What's it called?
Yeah. You had precedents, you had witnesses, photographs. You had everything going for you.
That's right. It's an easy case. Anybody could have won it, even a second-year law student, except I'm not doing very well.
Well, what happened?
I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me, and what can be the use of him is more than I can see.
Jesse Crawford, right?
Yeah, Jesse Crawford. Every place I look, I see Jesse Crawford. I come out of the NLO this morning, and who do I see? Jesse Crawford. I'm trying a case in court this morning. I'm doing really well, and who do I see? Jesse Crawford.
He's kind of got you off the track a little bit, huh?
Yeah, he does have me off the track a little bit.
Aaron, are you planning on looking into this case?
Yeah. I plan on looking into the case when I get done with the Mendoza case, when I get done with the 6 or 7 other cases that I have opened, if Jesse Crawford's a good boy, in about a week. Now, does that seem fair to you?
But is it fair to Jesse?
Well, it ought to be. If the kid wants to hang around, let him hang around, because I'm used to him now. I got used to him. He can't shake me up anymore.
Hey.
Jesse, what do you want?
Egg salad on white, baby.
Look, it's going to take me 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4 days before I can get to your case. And if you don't like it, you can get yourself another lawyer.
Yeah, baby. From what I saw upstairs, maybe I oughta.
Oh, yeah? Well, if that's the way you feel about it, what are you doing hanging around here?
Everybody's got to be someplace.
Hey, Jesse, what makes you think your brother's so innocent?
I don't think my brother's innocent. I know my brother's innocent.
Yeah, but how?
I just know, that's how.
How do you know? I mean, now, Jess, do you have a feeling that your brother's innocent? Or do you know that your brother's innocent?
He said he didn't do it.
Yeah, he said that he didn't do it, but in court he said that he did do it. He said that he was guilty.
Well, that was then. This is now.
Yeah, this is now. Now, Jesse, you're a smart kid. And you know that if we're going to do anything, we have to have facts. Now, can you give me just one fact to go on?
Man, I don't know from facts.
Well, I do. I know all about facts. And the biggest fact I know is that your brother had probably the single all-time greatest champion attorney in the whole city of Boston defending him.
Pig's eye he did.
Pig's eye he didn't.
Jesse, we're just trying to help you.
And we have to have facts. Seriously. We have to have facts. If you don't give us anything to go on, then we can't do any better job for your brother than Harris did. Do you understand that?
Okay, you want facts, I'll give you one. He's my brother.
Can I come in?
You're in already.
Willis is in for 10 to 20, a second-degree murder, and he's already served 4, and with good behavior, he should be out in a couple of years. That's what they say at the prison.
That's what they say at the prison, huh?
Jesse, do you want to tell me why this is so extra special? After 4 years?
Yeah. Where are you sitting now? That's where my mama died day before yesterday. It's no big thing. So Thursday they brought Willie in here, in handcuffs. And there were 2 guards standing in the room the whole time. Willie knew she was dying. And she asked him if he really did it. If he really killed that girl. And Willie said, of course he didn't. And then they took him back. And I told Mama I'd get him out. I don't know if that's what you'd call extra special.
Maybe he just said that so that your mother could die easy.
Look, please don't do that.
It's no big thing.
Nobody's asking you to get into this. I'll find somebody else.
Who? You got a father, Jesse?
No.
Anyone besides Willie?
Nope. Willie's it. He's my brother. We're getting a place together as soon as I get him out. Me and Willie.
Until then, you can't stay here by yourself.
That's no lie.
And?
Half these places is condemned. I'll find one no worse than this one.
No, I want you to get away from here.
And since when you were my big protector?
You tell me who is. Because if you don't, I'm telling you, and I mean it, Jesse. I will make you go someplace better than this.
How? You gonna call the cops down on me? Is that what you mean?
Okay. If you had a choice, where would you go?
I got nowhere.
You come stay with me, then.
I have my choice, and I want to stay by myself.
Jesse, if we're going to take this case and to try to help you get your brother out...
You trying to hustle me?
Okay. We'll take the case, Aaron and I. That's a promise.
Can I take some of my stuff?
No big thing.
Don't go away. The Young Lawyers will be right back.
Ever have one of those days when you really don't want to get out of bed? When you just can't face churning the butter? When you don't even feel like putting on your bunny suit or wrestling over a deep, fat fryer? Well, don't. Your friends here in TV Land will do it all for you.
That's how I make my living.
Don't chirp, don't hop, don't fry. Just say, take me to TV Land, and all you have to do is watch.
Kind of makes your day, doesn't it?
In the news, comparing the Earth to a greenhouse. Scientists say the Earth's atmosphere works much like a greenhouse. Greenhouse heat is good for flowers, but melting ice could mean trouble. We'll be back with the greenhouse effect in the news. And now, the greenhouse effect in the news. A greenhouse is a place where flowers grow splendidly. The glass lets in lots of sunlight, and then the glass holds in the sun's heat. Scientists say Earth's atmosphere works much the same way, that carbon dioxide in the atmosphere lets sunlight through to the surface of the Earth. Then, like the glass of a greenhouse, the carbon dioxide keeps much of the sun's heat from escaping. Carbon dioxide is a harmless gas, but some scientists say too much carbon dioxide, which comes from burning coal, oil, and gas, is making the Earth too hot. They say the huge polar ice packs have been melting at a more rapid rate for years, and that this melting ice is raising sea levels around the world. They say parts of Florida, for example, could be underwater sometime in the next century, along with other low-lying areas of the world. Scientists are using a computer model to try to predict how much more carbon dioxide would melt how much more ice and what the effect actually is on our oceans. They say they depend on weather stations like one in Hawaii to measure carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And they are urging the Reagan administration not to cut back funds for this program because someday it may tell us enough about the greenhouse effect on Earth to help us control it. I'm Christopher Glenn with the greenhouse effect in the news.
Hi, Guy. Sid? Sid? What's this, a new kind of right guard antiperspirant?
Hi there. That's my new Right Guard natural scent.
Natural scent?
It's new, light and fresh. You know, natural. Smell it.
Huh? It smells terrific.
It's Right Guard.
Oh.
Helps keep you dry all day.
New Right Guard natural scent. Does Mona know about you?
Oh, they moved.
Oh.
This is my husband, Bruno.
Bruno? Hi, Guy.
Yes, Dudley?
I'm starving. Can we have a snack, Mom?
Here's your snack, kids. Cheese, fruits, and I chopped up some carrot sticks.
Thanks.
What? No candy? No chewy gooey tar bars? Eating too many snacks can cause tooth decay. But if you need a snack between meals, choose nutritious foods like fruits, vegetables, or cheese.
I'm proud of these 242 teeth. That's why I'm eating nutritious food.
That's right. Eat up, kids.
Yay!
Take me to TV land. Take me to TV land.
Stay tuned. Wonders of TV Land is next. Followed by the Addams Family. And then Green Acres. From TV fans, for TV fans.
TV land.
It went very well. The landlord has to fix the building from the rafters to the floorboards,
From the stem to the stern.
from the head to the toe, from the roof to the basement. And then, if the building inspector approves it, then, and only then, does Mr. Mendoza have to start paying rent.
Hey, you must have really snowed that judge.
I did.
I know you did.
What you working on?
Oh, and some evidence. Hey, you think you got a second? I mean, you could help me out a little bit. You're so good at that kind of stuff.
I ain't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you better get me while I'm in a good mood. What do you want to know?
Well, it's sure nice of you, Aaron. Okay, let me see now. The Teichmann test, right?
On a Teichmann test, that establishes whether or not a stain is blood.
Is that enough?
If blood is found on a defendant, it's not enough. What you have to do then is you have to take a sample of blood from both the victim and the suspect. Fine type, comparative analysis. Then in addition to the Teichmann test, I also do a precipitin test to make sure it's human blood.
Wow. I didn't know that. Hey, wait, I got one more. If a witness against your client has a criminal record, Can you go into that in court?
Sure. I mean, you'd have to go into it in court. You'd have to discredit him.
Oh. I bet this sounds kind of dumb, but one more. If the murder weapon could have been in the possession of the victim, as well as your client...
That's a whole different ballgame. See, if only your client had the murder weapon, then presumably only your client could use it. But if the victim had the weapon, then presumably anyone could use it.
Oh.
When do you take evidence? Next semester?
Uh-huh.
Well, you get all this stuff in the first week or the second week.
Oh, sounds like dumb, huh?
No, it doesn't sound dumb. It's just that after a while it becomes second nature, becomes elementary. Anybody would ask those questions in court.
I wonder why Matthew G. Harris didn't.
Didn't what? That couldn't be a transcript of Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Willis Crawford, could it?
I've marked the salient passages.
Pat, there could have been answers why Matthew Harris didn't follow those lines.
Well, that's what I thought, but I just couldn't think of them myself.
Well, you read the transcript. It's a record of what happened in court. What about what didn't take place in court? Put yourself in Harris' spot.
I talked to that witness, the one with the criminal record.
Good. If you can find it, might check with the police.
And find out about the murder weapon and try to ascertain where Crawford worked.
Then get all the facts and go over them with Willis Crawford.
Right. And if this isn't simply an academic exercise, I'd tell my client. You know, the one who's crazy about Aaron Silverman.
I already did.
Jesse sent you, huh?
Yep.
A kid sending a kid lawyer. Wow.
You want to hear something even more incredible? I haven't even passed the bar yet.
What are you doing, practicing on me?
Yeah. Old Jesse's helping me go through law school. Did you ever hear of the neighborhood law office?
No, I never know. All right, what do you want to know?
I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. When you were busted, you had blood on your pants. Where'd it come from?
From the meat market.
From the meat market?
Sharon Beef on Blackstone Street in Market Square. I was there till 6 o'clock that night sectioning beef. It was animal blood.
And then how come Harris? I mean, anybody would have checked that out.
Well, you tell me, baby.
Now, when you were busted, you were put into a cell with a man.
George Raymond, he lied.
Yeah, but he says that you told him.
Well, I told him that I knew Claire, that I'd seen her that night, that I had a fight with her and walked out on her, and that's all.
You didn't tell him that you killed her?
I didn't kill her.
A gun. Something about a gun, something about you buying a gun in a gun shop.
I bought it with her and for her. I mean, Claire, she asked me to.
Why?
Men.
Men?
That's right, she had some ugly customers.
Customers?
She's on the streets, man. I'm an amateur, maybe, but still a hustler. I know that ain't in there either, right?
Willis, are you guilty or are you not guilty?
Not guilty.
Then why did you say you were guilty?
Look, man, I'm up for first-degree murder. And the court appoints a lawyer who says I haven't got a chance. They got that good a case against me. So he makes a deal for you, right? Second degree, and you get 10 to 20 in the slammer. And you're out maybe in 4 or 5 years. And I'm thinking, well, maybe that's not such a bad deal.
But you didn't do it.
My lawyer was Matthew Harris.
I know who your lawyer was.
Well, he's supposed to know what he's talking about. He talked, I listened. Now, I made that mistake once. I'm not making it again.
You want out?
Well, sure I won out. You got a guarantee you can spring me?
Of course I don't have a guarantee I can spring you. But if what you tell me is true, yeah, I'll probably get evidence enough for a new trial.
And start that mess again. No thanks, baby. Well, if I make that kind of noise, I got the parole board down on me. I'll get out the best way I can. If I stay clean, I'll be out in a couple of years.
Yeah, but what about Jess?
When I get out, I'll take care of him.
When you get out? In the meantime, he's serving the same time you are. In the streets.
You know what you've got here? Nothing.
Nothing? What about the statement of the man at the meat market?
That on June 25th, 4 years ago, he punched out at 6:07. Didn't that give him time enough to get to Mason Street, driving?
Yeah.
But the man in the meat market also said that Willis Crawford was not only a good, but that he was a great worker, and he'd give him his job back in a minute.
So you've got a good character witness.
Yes, I do have a good character witness, who Matthew Harris did not have testify at the trial.
Hey, and what about George Raymond and his police record?
A guy named Raymond shares a cell with Crawford. He testifies that Crawford admitted killing the girl. Possible.
I'm talking about the state dropping the charges against him after he turned state's evidence. Now, if you want to call that coincidence.
But it's just as credible as calling it a deal.
All right. What about the guy at the gun shop?
Who says that 4 years ago a girl came into his place with a man who bought a gun.
It was never mentioned in court.
Now we're back where we started. A convict says he's innocent. His lawyer fouled him up. All you're doing is raising a couple of questions.
That's right, I have raised a couple of questions, which is exactly what his lawyer should have done and didn't.
Maybe.
You'd have raised them.
Yes. Which goes to show that maybe we don't know all the facts.
Or that Matthew Harris blew his case.
You know who Matthew G. Harris is, Aaron. His work on civil rights, the unpopular causes he's fought for.
Yes. And I admire the man. I can quote you chapter and verse from 3 of his major court decisions.
You think a man like that would blow his case?
Yes. I think it's possible.
You know the trouble you could cause bringing a charge of incompetence of counsel against a man like that?
Isn't the real question whether, this one time, he gave his client the best defense possible?
Mr. Barrett, you've read the transcript. Could you have handled it better?
Better? Oh, I don't know. There might have been some things I would have handled differently. I can't say why Harris did what he did, but I've got to believe he had his reasons.
Do you want to ask him what they were? Or should we?
All right, I'll ask him. That's my job. Little Jesse Crawford. You certainly tore this office apart.
Don't go away. The young lawyers will be right back.
They were the originators, the founders, the legends of a golden age. The innovators of TV land.
People say to me, Morty Schlichter, you are a genius. I say, I don't know, maybe I am. That's the very shirt I was wearing. A lot landed on me. I'm sorry, I'm a sentimental fool. But those coffee stains, they always get me. I'll say this, it was not an accident, it was not luck. It was not easy. It was something that came out of literally thousands of performances. Now, drooling had always been a part of the act, and we had toyed with the idea of spitting toast. It didn't fly right. That particular night, Bud was a mess. But Mola, it was something of a sauce artist. I think I can say that now. Anyway, he's stumbling his way through the script, and the idea occurs to me boom like that. Bud finally gets to his line, and I give him the spit take. The first spit take. Oh, it was a beauty. The explosion, the spritz, the froth, it was all there the very first time. Naturally, we kept it in, became a regular part of the act. Genius? Maybe. That's for others to say.
Don't go away, there's another retromercial coming up.
Every time I went to the beach with Albert, some big muscle guy was always kicking sand in his face. It made me so mad. I wonder whatever happened to him.
Albert's a Mustanger now. He bought a beautiful Mustang convertible, one of 3 Mustangs for $65. Nothing soft about this car, except the all-vinyl interior and the carpeting. With a big 200 cubic inch strong arm 6, he's got a tough new kind of action. And when he added optional power brakes, power steering, all of a sudden his whole life changed. Nobody's kicking sand at Albert now. We don't spend much time here anymore. Put a few kicks in your life. Take a Mustang out for a little road work. Mustang, Mustang.
Joe Mannix is a private investigator. He's not a cop.
I'm Joe Mannix. I'm not a cop.
Joe Mannix drives a cool green convertible. Cops drive squad cars.
Oh, I'm no cop.
Joe Mannix wears a variety of stylish sports jackets. The police wear uniforms.
I'm not from the police.
Joe Mannix, he's not a cop.
I'm a hard-boiled private eye in the classical tradition.
Tune in for Mannix weekdays on TV Land. You want cops? Watch Hill Street Blues.
I like being a cop.
Because sometimes you feel like a cop, sometimes you don't.
Now back to the Young Lawyers right here on TV Land.
David. By golly, it's good to see you again. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting.
Not at all. Your clerk makes a great cup of coffee.
Yeah, well, that's very important in selecting your clerk.
Hmm?
Well, you see, you want a man who was law reviewer at Harvard. But if he can't make a good cup of coffee, then you look to Yale. You know who told me that? Judge Novins, first day I was here. It may be the best advice that I ever got. Say, I understand you're out of private practice now.
Neighborhood law office.
That may be as satisfying a thing as a lawyer can do.
Beats anything I ever did.
Yes, and I know you get the best law students to work with, too. Judge Warnicki told me you had one of your people argue a case before him a month or so ago. Beat the brains out of old Jerry Landis.
Oh.
I didn't give it a day's pay to see that. David, let me know the next time you get a good one going. I'd like to see for myself.
Matthew, a couple of our people are into something that involved you 4 years ago. It concerns a client of ours who's asking questions about his brother's trial. You handle the defense. Willis Crawford.
Crawford? Crawford. Willis Crawford. Yes, I remember the case. It was one of my last before I was appointed to the bench. First-degree murder, is that right?
Initially. You pleaded to second.
Ah. Sit down, please.
Thank you.
You know, as I recall, we didn't have a very strong case. And in the face of the evidence, a deal made sense. David, any questions I can answer, of course, I will.
Now, because of the nature of his work at the slaughterhouse, isn't it possible that the blood they found on Crawford's clothes could have been animal blood?
Of course, yes. And it also could have been human blood, the girl's blood. And if it was, well, we just can't make a deal for a second anymore. Now, let the prosecution prove its own case.
And, the gun. Crawford says he bought it for the girl.
Even if he did, he still could have killed her with it, couldn't he? Well, do your associates intend to seek a writ of habeas corpus for Crawford for a new trial on the grounds of incompetent counsel? Now, I only ask this because the thrust of your question seemed to be in that direction.
As a matter of fact, they did consider that possibility.
Really? Well, I think I gave Crawford a competent defense. At least I hope I did. He was guilty, you know, David. No doubt about it. None at all. Still. Was there anything else they wanted to know?
George Raymond.
George Raymond?
His cellmate. Said that Crawford confessed.
And?
Well, has a very bad record. I would have thought Matthew G. Harris would have torn him to shreds.
Maybe. But the prosecution felt confident enough to put him on. Well, maybe their case wasn't as weak as your kids would like to think. David, I'm not offended. The only thing that offends me these days is unwillingness to take a stand, and your people are not guilty of that. Now, will you thank your young Turks for me? I mean that. Thank them for caring.
Thank you, man. why we're so tired. You play squash?
Not very well.
Neither do I. How did we ever get into this thing?
It's a little too late for that now.
Well, we're in it now. Worst of it is we can destroy Matthew Harris doing this. Destroy a good man.
Or save another. Willis Crawford.
Hey, we didn't know it was going to lead to this.
We certainly didn't.
Well, you do what you have to do. But you're going to see him in person. Tell him exactly what you're going to do and why. Don't hit him in the back alleys.
Matthew, darling, Miss Walters and Mr. Silverman are here. Won't you let me take your coat?
Thank you.
Just make yourself comfortable.
Mr. Silverman, Miss Walters.
Oh, hello.
As I told you on the phone, I don't think this meeting is going to serve any useful purpose. However, I appreciate your sportsman's instinct to shoot an animal that's looking straight at you instead of one that's running away.
Well, we wanted to come here and wanted to tell you what we were going to do and why.
No, frankly, I'm not very interested in what you're going to do and why. You have what? 1 semester of criminal law between you? You've never tried a case with more than 5 years at stake. You're not even members of the bar. And you seriously want me to listen to your explanations of my incompetence?
We were hoping that there was a simple explanation.
I've done as much explaining as I intend to your Mr. Barrett. I went through everything, point by point.
Well, we'd be happy to bow out, Your Honor. I mean, we'd be more than happy to bow out if you'd make an appeal for a new trial for Willis Crawford.
No. I don't think I'll do that. For a very simple reason. I have done nothing incompetent. Now, if you were older or more experienced, you could realize that. The transcript of a trial. What can that really tell you? Does it tell you the sense of the courtroom? What the jury's thinking? The feel of the case? I saved Crawford's life! His life! And that just may have taken a high degree of skill. I've spent a lifetime in these woods, and I don't lose my way easily.
We know your reputation as a defense attorney.
Just hear me out, young lady. I didn't have to take the Crawford case. I took a court appointment. Because I am committed, and I always have been all my life, not for just a few months. I've defended black men, and unpopular men, and doomed men, and men who wouldn't pay me, and men who hated me and everything I stood for. But they were glad to have me, because I was competent, and I was committed. And now you dare to charge me with incompetence? Well, don't do it lightly. In other words, my young friends, if you aim at a king, kill him.
Next up, it's Julie Andrews in Julie, only on Nick at Night's TV Land.
Nick at Night's block party summer never ends when you're online. Check out the brand new Nick at Night TV Land website at nickatnight.com, where you can enter the block party summer online sweepstakes or enter by postcard. The grand prize winner gets a top-of-the-line desktop computer and printer. 10 first prize winners get their very own portable computer. And 100 second prize winners get a Block Party Summer prize pack with software by Humongous Entertainment. So enter today and party online.
Enjoy Petticoat Junction more when you know your Joes. Betty Joe, tomboy who can catch and throw. Bobby Joe, always wears a hairband scarf or a ribbon tied in a bow. Billy Joe, not the one who jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Oh, no. Steve Elliott, regular Joe, boyfriend of Bobby Joe, but takes a flying fancy for Betty Joe, resulting in Kathy Joe, who ends up in jail with Uncle Joe, who's moving kind of slow. And as always, Kate makes a mean cup of Joe. It's that simple. Watch all the Joes at Petticoat Junction on TV Land.
Ooh la la, ça suit.
Bonjour. Action. James. Bonjour. Action. James. Bonjour. Fashion. Bonjour. 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 James.
Take me to TV Land.
Now back to the young lawyers right here on TV Land.
Well, you don't look too happy to see me.
And you dragged me out of a good movie.
Did I?
Yeah, it's about these students who are so crazy for peace, they start a riot in the girls' gym. And what do you college kids want anyway?
Justice.
Well, look, you're wasting your time, kid. You're not my lawyer.
No, I'm not your lawyer. I'm your brother's lawyer. Jesse's here to see you.
I told him I didn't want him here. Who asked you to bring him?
I didn't bring him. He brought me. And he brought you a present. Now, you want to see him or don't you want to see him?
Hi, Jess.
Hello, Willie.
You're looking great.
They treating you good, Will?
Well, steak and eggs get tiresome every day, but the roof ain't leaky.
I brought you something. Except they took it away from me. They said they'd give it to you in mail call.
But see, they gotta do that. See, they figure you're gonna hand me a file or something.
There wasn't much. It was one of those little bird whistles. Like maybe when we got in the woods again.
We're gonna be doing that real soon, Jess.
I don't want to wait no more.
Well, it's only a couple of years. It'll be over before you know it.
And you'll be an ex-con with the record. And I'll be a man by then. And what do I want with a big brother when I'm that old? I want you out now.
If I go for this appeal, I gotta cut the whole thing over again. And anything can happen in a new trial, anything. They can convict me of first-degree murder and sentence me to die. Don't you understand that?
You know something? You're dead now.
And that selfish little punk.
Is he?
You still want that action?
Sure do.
You remember Mrs. Harris?
Hello. Hello.
Sit down, please. Coffee? Anybody?
No, not for me, thank you.
Mrs. Harris?
Well, my husband doesn't know that I've come here. Unless it's necessary, I'd prefer that you never tell him. Is that all right?
Sure.
I know that you're not doing this out of malice. Dare I plead with you to reconsider the action that you're about to take? It's very difficult to explain, isn't it? When a man makes one mistake, if he makes 1,000, then you grow to expect it. But one... Mr. Silverman, Miss Walters, 4 years ago, when Matthew was defending Willis Crawford, I met a man, and we became involved. Matthew found out about it just before the trial. It hurt him. We separated. We even started to speak of divorce. All this while Matthew was trying to defend Mr. Crawford. Mr. Silverman, I know nothing of the technicalities of the law. I only know that despite his anguish, Matthew gave Mr. Crawford his very best. A man devoted to justice accumulates many political enemies. They couldn't stop him as a crusading attorney. Don't help them stop him this way. When you condemn a man like Matthew Harris, you condemn 1,000 Willis Crawfords.
Gallantry is an old-fashioned word that's grown out of use.
I think she seems like a lovely woman. I sincerely do. And I think it took a lot of courage for her to come here and ask us to give her husband a second chance. But what about Willis Crawford? What about Jesse Crawford? Who's going to give them a second chance?
All right, let's add it up. Assets and liabilities. Suppose we go ahead.
We probably destroyed Judge Harris.
Right.
And we might be trying to free a guilty man. Willis Crawford might be guilty. You know, it is possible.
And you could lose your appeal. Even with as good a case as you apparently have. Judges are human, you know. If they think you're going to take a pot shot at one of their colleagues, you could lose. Well, what's on the other side?
Jesse. He has his whole life wrapped up in getting his brother out of jail. And I mean, if it means that much to him...
Pat, I don't mean to be rude, Kat, I really don't. But there seems to me that there's only one thing that matters. Did Willis Crawford receive the defense that he was entitled to? That's all it seems to matter.
Then, let's go after Matthew Harris.
All rise. The Court of Appeals of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is now in session. The Honorable Judge Bowes is now presiding. Be seated.
Is the petitioner present?
Present, Your Honor.
And respondent present?
Present, Your Honor.
May I call Your Honor's attention to the unusual circumstances of this appeal that involves not only Willis Crawford, but a young man who believes in a system that can provide justice, Jesse Crawford. He came to two young student lawyers to ask for help. With the court's indulgence, may I present Aaron Silverman of the Neighborhood Law Office, who prepared this brief.
Is Mr. Silverman ready?
Yes, I am, Your Honor. It is always unpleasant when one has to question the conduct of a colleague, especially when that colleague happens to be, and deservedly so, one of the most respected men in Massachusetts law. But the issue here today is not a man's reputation, no matter how exceptional his credentials might be. It is his performance in a particular trial. And in the matter before the court, we contend that a man, Willis Crawford, was denied due process of law because of the negligence and the inefficiency of his counsel, and because apparently his counsel never believed in the innocence of his own client, and then he allowed that belief to affect his actions. There are 5 separate areas, 5 means by which we intend to document our contention that Willis Crawford did not receive a fair trial. First, the murder weapon. Who had it? Second, the blood found on the defendant. Where did it come from? Third, the victim. Who had motives to kill her? Fourth, the defendant. Did he have an explanation he was not able to give? And fifth,
May it please the court. I would like permission to interrupt these proceedings. Your Honor, I fully realize that I'm out of order. But I think that what I have to say may have great bearing on the matter at hand.
Any objections, Mr. Barrett, Mr. Silverman?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Judge Harris.
Your Honor, I request permission to join with my learned colleague here in his appeal for a new trial for Willis Crawford. I make this request because I'm fully convinced that Willis Crawford did not receive a fair trial due to incompetence of counsel.
I would be honored to have Judge Harris join me in this appeal, Your Honor.
Don't go away. The young lawyers will be right back.
Twist for Mommy and groovy little Susie. Now it's playtime for Susie and housework for Mommy. Mommy. Hey, Maud, Minnie, Missy, you sure are really messy. Messy. Oh, Susie, Mom knows what to do, see. We can take a dip in bubble bath twist. TV land, Mom's agree. Twists and craze for you and me. Extra bubble action. It's a groovy thing with a far out thing. And it won't leave a bathtub ring. Twist's a wonderful thing. Go-go chicken Susie, Susie a go-go. Twist, twist, bubble, bubbles a go-go. It's a gas, it's a key, dig and make you see. It's a trick and that's alright. Twist is out of sight. La 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 la, yeah, that's alright.
Gotta get TWIP? Then get hip to this. TWIP's available only in TV Land.
Don't go away. There's another retromercial coming up.
My baloney has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name. It's M-A-Y-E-R. Oh, I love to eat it every day. And if you ask me why, I'll say, 'cause Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G and A.
Oscar Mayer, the first name in Bologna.
How's that?
Put two freewheeling cars on a track with no lanes and no grooves, and you're in for some wild racing. Introducing Accelerators from Aurora, the electric racing set that doesn't have slots. Racing cars that freewheel all over the track because there's nothing to hold them down. With your accelerator power stick, you give them juice to pass, or try to. Swing out on that curve, then speed into the exciting loop-de-loop. The Big Loop racing set comes with two freewheeling cars, plus everything you see here. The Accelerators from Aurora. In our quest for more and better television, TV Land boldly goes where other channels won't, exploring the outer limits of what's contractually available, combing the uncharted realms of the known television world. Yes, if it's out there, it may end up here, in the wonders of TV Land, an ever-changing array of the good, the weird, and the wonderful. So, journey with us to the wonders of TV Land, Saturdays and Sundays at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, only on Nick at Night's TV Land.
Up next, it's the wonders of TV Land right here on TV Land.
Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Silverman. Mr. Silverman, I want you to promise me something.
Anything you say.
Promise me that you'll never abandon your search for the truth, no matter where it leads you.
I promise.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I was wrong. You're a lawyer. You're a lawyer and a half.
And you, I don't even want you to come around unless you understand that this is just the beginning of a long fight. Now, we might have gotten an order for a new trial in there, but now we have to win that trial in order to get Willis out of jail. Now, do you understand that?
We'll win. I got the best, didn't I?
Well, you might think I'm the best. And I might think I'm the best. But I don't know if there's anybody else around here that feels that way.
Now, stay tuned for our Big Stars Little Screen edition of The Wonders of TV Land. Next.
With all the cases wrapped up and all the criminals put where they belong, TV Land's Crime Stoppers are now taking a well-deserved rest. But they'll be back on the job next time, fighting crime, seeking justice, and defending the rights of upstanding citizens all over Nick at Night's TV Land.
Take me to TV Land.
Stay tuned. Wonders of TV Land is next. Followed by the Addams Family. And then Green Acres. From TV fans, for TV fans.
TV Land.
There's been a change in Charger. It's a whole new car. A different Charger than you've known by far. We've hardly kept a thing except the Charger name. Nothing else about it's gonna look the same. We've got this classic grille, this special window here. A lusher, plusher look from front to rear. Once you have seen the new Charger displayed, you're gonna love the change we made. You'll love the change we made.
Announcing the all-new luxurious Dodge Charger, Special Edition 75.
You'll love the change we made.
Take me to TV Land. Take me to TV Land.
Up next, it's the wonders of TV Land right here on TV Land.
He's unkempt, untamed, and unpredictable. He's Detective Mick Boker, and only one person has what it takes to bring this savage beast back to the human race. It's not a cop. It's not a criminal. It's someone who has Mick Boker's number.
Hi, Ma. Hi, Ma. Hi, Ma.
Boker and his mother. On Hill Street Blues, only on TV Land.
I love you too, Ma. Goodbye.
Welcome to the wonders of TV Land, boldly going where other channels won't, exploring the uncharted realms of the known television world, the good, the weird, the wonderful. Now, sit back and journey with us through the wonders of TV Land. TV Land!
all right?
Right.
So listen. With good Heinz ketchup, you will know the accent is on tomato.
Me to TV land.
Coming up is Love American Style on Nick at Night TV Land.
Love, love, love. Love American style. Doing in the red, white, and blue. Love American style. That's me and you. And on a star-spangled night, my love come to me. You can rest your head on my shoulder. While by the dawn's early light, my love, I will defend your right to try. Love American style, that's me and you.
Hi, Margie. How's my girl?
Which one, Bluebeard?
You, Pumpkin, you. Hi, Sam.
I'm holding your reservation. Stool number 5.
And 6. Just give me 2 chili burgers, heavy on the onions, double French fries, and a coffee.
We have a deal, remember?
Oh, yeah. Well, no sweat. I've been real good with my diet. Don't you think I'm getting thinner?
Just your hair.
All right. How about 1 chili burger?
A deal is a deal.
How about a number 7 that comes with the salad, the blue plate special?
Okay, you're breaking my heart.
1 number 7. Hold the spaghetti, hold the meatballs, hold the rolls, double salad.